political regime that is going to allow us to produce the optimum form of, the least bad form of collective self-governance. Yeah? How is it that instead of just sort of throwing a bunch of rules out there and relying on luck and the people to produce something, how can we actually give them something from the start that they can use? This is now what I'm calling, sorry, next slide, please. Sorry, thank you. Democracy by design, which is a form of value-sensitive design. And this was an idea that goes back about 20 years, where we're trying to go beyond just designing systems with functional and non-functional requirements, but trying to make sure that we understand what is of value to the users and making sure that those values are the things that are provided by the system. In this case, the value that we're trying to promote is democracy. Yeah? So how do we do that? In particular, how can we provide these socio-technical systems in the digital transformation which avoid what we see at the moment, which is the private ownership of the means of social coordination? Because arguably one of the things that's happened is that the network effects occurring at the application layer have allowed just a few small companies to dominate particular spheres of internet activity. And then they actually control how it is that we, the demos, can actually solve our collective action problems. So if we want to break that up, we need an architecture, we need to architect these systems, a new software architecture, according to a number of principles that will create this value that we want, which is democracy. And these are the 8 foundational principles that I'm going to go for. The first one is prevention rather than reinvention. So you want to prevent the descent of your system into some form of tyranny, whether that's oligarchy, autocracy, or majoritarian tyranny. I'll discuss those terms later, rather than letting it go into one of these autocratic states and then you having to drag it back. We should also recognize that, as we've seen with Fukuyama, democracy is not an end state, nor is it the default. Yeah? So you shouldn't just assume that because your system starts off nicely democratic, it's always going to stay that way.